There's a part of your brain running your entire life, and you've never even met it. It controls 95% of your decisions, your habits, your beliefs, your results. And nobody taught you how to use it. Let me tell you something that might mess with your head. You think you're in control. You think you're making decisions. You think your conscious mind, the voice in your head right now, is running the show. It's not. Your conscious mind processes about 50 bits of information per second. Your conscious mind processes about 50 bits of information per second. Your subconscious, 11 million bits per second. That's not a typo. 11 million versus 50. Your conscious mind is a bicycle. Your subconscious is a supercomputer. And most people spend their entire lives pedaling the bicycle while the supercomputer sits there untouched collecting dust. Dr. Bruce Lipton, a cellular biologist, has been screaming this for decades. The subconscious mind is running the show 95% of the time, and most people don't even know it exists. You're not driving your life, you're a passenger, and until you learn how to access the driver's seat, nothing changes. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Why don't they teach this in school? Why didn't your parents tell you? Why isn't this common knowledge? I'm not here to spin those conspiracy theories, but I will say this. A person who knows how to program their mind is dangerous. They can't be easily controlled. They can't be easily sold to. They can't be put in a box. So whether it's intentional or just ignorance, the result is the same. You were given a Ferrari for a brain and nobody gave you the keys. Today, I'm giving you the keys. Let me explain what's actually happening inside your head. Your conscious mind is the goal setter. It's where you decide, I want to be rich, I want to be healthy, I want to be confident. Your subconscious mind is the go-getter. It's the part that actually makes things happen. But here's the problem. Your subconscious doesn't take orders from your conscious mind. It takes orders from your programming. And your programming, it was installed between ages of 0 to 7 by your parents, your environment, and your early experiences. Most of it wasn't even yours. You just absorbed it like a sponge. So now you've got a 35-year-old adult trying to build wealth with a 5-year-old's beliefs about money running the show. You've got someone trying to find love with childhood rejection still controlling their behavior. You've got someone trying to be confident with a subconscious that was programmed to believe they're not good enough. And they wonder why they're stuck. It's not a willpower problem, it's a programming problem. Napoleon Hill said it in 1937, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But he left out the most important part. You have to get the subconscious to believe it, not just the conscious mind. And that's a different game entirely. Think of your subconscious like an operating system. Your phone has an iOS or Android running in the background. You don't see it, you don't even think about it, but it does control everything. Your subconscious is the same thing. It's running in the background 24/7, controlling your heartbeat, your breathing, your habits, your reactions, your beliefs about what's possible. And just like a phone operating system, it can be updated. But here's the catch. You can't just talk about it. You can't just say, hey, subconscious, make me rich. That's not how it works. The subconscious doesn't speak English, but it does speak in images, emotions, and repetition. That's why affirmations alone don't work for most people. You're speaking the wrong language. You're sending a text message to a system that only reads images. Joseph Murphy, who wrote The Power of Your Subconscious Mind back in 1963, understood this. He said the subconscious mind is like a bed of soil that accepts any kind of seed, good or bad. It doesn't judge, it doesn't filter, it just accepts and executes. And whatever you plant grows, whether you planted it intentionally or not. Let me show you one piece of this machine that'll blow your mind. There's a part of your brain called the reticular activating system, the RAS, the RAS. Its job is to filter information because you're being hit with millions of bits of data every second. You can't process all of it, so the RAS decides what gets through and what gets ignored. Now here's the key. The RAS filters based on what you've told your subconscious is important. Ever bought a car and suddenly you see that car everywhere? It's not that there are more of them. Your RAS is now letting them through the filter. This is why two people can be in the same room and see completely different opportunities. One person's RAS is tuned to opportunities don't exist for people like me. Another person's RAS is tuned to opportunities are everywhere. Same room, same reality, completely different experience. Your RAS is either working for you or against you right now, and if you haven't programmed it intentionally, it's running on default settings from your childhood. This is not woo stuff, this is neuroscience. Dr. Joe Dispenza has brain scans on thousands of people. He's shown that when you change your thoughts and emotions consistently, your brain physically rewires itself. New neural pathways form, old ones weaken. He says your personality creates your personal reality, and your personality is made up of how you think, act, and feel. Change those, and you can change your life. The science is there, and the research is there. The only question is, are you going to use it or keep pedaling the bicycle while the supercomputer sits unused? If you're still with me, you're my kind of person. Most people clicked away by now. They don't want you to know this stuff, but you do. Hit subscribe, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to access this part of your brain. Let's keep going. All right, let's get tactical. How do you actually get into the subconscious? The first access point is the hypnagogic state. This is the state between waking and sleeping, right when you're drifting off at night, right when you're waking up in the morning. In this state, your brainwaves slow down from beta to alpha to theta. And in theta, the doorway to subconscious is wide open. This is why what you think about before bed matters so much. If you're scrolling your phone, watching news, stressing about tomorrow, you're programming garbage into your subconscious right before the door closes. But if you spend those 5 to 10 minutes visualizing what you want, feeling the emotions of already having it, telling yourself who you're becoming, that goes straight in. No resistance, no filter. Neville Goddard, one of the OGs of this work, built his entire teaching around this. He called it assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled right before sleep. He said, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows. The last 5 minutes before sleep might be the most powerful minutes of your day. Stop wasting them. The second access point is repetition. Your subconscious learns through repetition. That's how your childhood programming got installed. You heard the same things over and over. You saw the same patterns over and over, and eventually they become beliefs. You can use the same mechanism to install new beliefs. But here's where most people mess up. They say an affirmation once in the morning and expect their life to change. That's not repetition, that's a wish. Real repetition means hammering the same thought, the same image, the same feeling hundreds of times, thousands of times. Muhammad Ali understood this. He said it's the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. He didn't just say I'm the greatest once. He said it so many times that his subconscious had no choice but to accept it as a fact. Then his RAS went to work finding the evidence to prove it true. How many times have you told yourself you're not good enough? Thousands? Millions? You're going to need at least that many repetitions in the opposite direction to overwrite it. Now, this isn't a 1 week thing, this is a lifestyle. The third access point is emotion. This is the one most people miss. Your subconscious doesn't respond to words, it responds to feelings. You can say, I am wealthy 1,000,000 times, but if you feel broke while you're saying it, broke is what gets programmed. The feeling is the language. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this constantly. He says, you have to feel the emotion of your future reality before it happens. That's what sends the signal to the subconscious. So when you're visualizing, when you're doing your repetitions, when you're in that hypnagogic state, don't just imagine, don't just see the image, feel it. Feel the confidence in your chest, feel the freedom in your body, feel the gratitude as if it already happened. That's what gets through, that's what programs. If you're just going through the motions intellectually, then you're wasting your time. Emotion is the carrier signal, and without it, the message doesn't get delivered. And the fourth access point, and this is the deepest one, identity. Your subconscious will always move you towards who you believe you are. If you believe you're a broke person, you'll sabotage money. If you believe you're an unlovable person, you'll sabotage relationships. If you believe you're a failure, you'll sabotage success. Not because you want to, but because your subconscious is always trying to keep you consistent with your identity. James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits. He says, the goal is not to read a book. The goal is to become a reader. The goal is to not run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. Identity first, behavior follows. So the question isn't, what do I want to do? The question is, who do I want to become? And then you start telling yourself who you already are over and over with emotion in that state. I'm the kind of person who, I'm someone who, this is who I am now, When your identity shifts, your actions shift automatically. You don't need discipline to act like yourself. The fifth access point, environment. Your subconscious is constantly observing your environment. The people who you hang around, the content you consume, the spaces you spend time in, all of it is programming you, whether you like it or not. If you're surrounded by negative people, your subconscious is absorbing that negativity. If you're consuming fear-based news all day, your subconscious is absorbing fear. If your environment screams struggle and scarcity, that's what gets programmed. Jim Rhodes said it, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But I take it further, you're the average of everything you expose your subconscious to. So be ruthless about your environment, curate it like your life depends on it, because your future actually does. We've just covered the 5 access points, the specific state, the repetition, the emotion, the identity, the environment. Now, if you're serious about this, subscribe. I'm going to go deep into this stuff here. Drop a comment. Tell me which access point you're going to start with. Now, let's bring it home. All right, let me give you a simple daily practice to start reprogramming. Right when you wake up, before you check your phone, before you do anything, stay in that drowsy state. Close your eyes. Visualize your ideal life. Not just images, feel it. Feel the emotions of already having it. Then say your identity statement. I am statements with conviction and with feeling. This is you uploading new software first thing in the morning. And now throughout the day, catch your negative self-talk. When you hear, I can't, or I'm not good enough, or that's not for people like me, interrupt it. Replace it with the opposite out loud if you can. This is you catching bugs in the system and fixing them in real time. Then at nighttime, before sleep, repeat the morning process, visualize, feel, and affirm. But add this, review your day as if everything went perfectly, even if it didn't. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. Use that to your advantage. This is you running updates before the system shuts down for the night. So here's my challenge for you. Do this for 30 days straight. No breaks, no excuses. Morning, throughout the day, then at night. Most people won't do it. They'll say it's too simple, it's too hard, or they'll do it for 3 days and quit. But if you actually commit, within 30 days, you'll start noticing shifts. Different thoughts popping up, different opportunities appearing, different reactions to old triggers. That's your RAS recalibrating. That's your neural pathways rewiring. That's your subconscious starting to accept the new programming. It won't be overnight. This isn't magic. It's science. But it works every single time for anyone who actually does the work. The question is, will you be one of them? Let me paint you a picture of what's on the other side. Imagine waking up and your default thoughts are positive, not because you're forcing it, because that's just how you think now. Imagine walking into a room feeling confident, not performing confident, actually feeling it because your identity has shifted. Imagine opportunities finding you, the right people showing up, things clicking into place, not because of luck, because your RAS is tuned to a different frequency. Imagine your goals feeling inevitable, not I hope this happens, but this is happening. It's just a matter of time. And that's what's available when you learn to work with your subconscious instead of against it. Stop fighting yourself. You stop being your own biggest obstacle. You and your subconscious become a team. And that team is unstoppable. So here's the bottom line. You were given the most powerful machine in the known universe, the human brain. And nobody gave you the instruction manual. So you've been running on default programming, childhood programming, programming that was never even yours, and you've been wondering why you're stuck, why you keep repeating the same patterns, why you can't seem to break through. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. The access points are there, the science is there, the tactics are there. The only question is whether you're going to use them. Most people will watch this video and think that's interesting and go back to their old patterns. Don't be most people. You have a supercomputer in your head, and it's time to learn how to use it. Do the work, reprogram the system, become who you were supposed to be before the world told you who you had to be. The keys are in your hand now. What are you going to do with them? If this opens something up for you, subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment. What's one belief you're going to start reprogramming today? And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.